Blessings. Welcome to our healing yoga class. This is our last class for now. Check up on what Element 3 is offering in their mind and body site. They will be updating that soon. So thank you so much to all who have supported this group on Element 3 health side, on the practitioner side, Zoom, everybody that's brought us all together. I am so appreciative. Find my info in the chat box or on their website in the about the instructors portal, and you can reach out to me. I teach classes on my own, so please, I'd love to hear about your healing journeys, stay up to date with you, and keep following along and practicing together. So let's start. We had an intention today with legs focused, low back, and neck. That's a pretty wide gamut. So let's start down below and we'll work our way up to the subtler parts. We know in our yoga backgrounds together, we like to focus on the lower foundation, the house, the basement, floor, and then we'll build up from there. So let's just find a comfortable seat. It can be in a chair or with the sit bones, maybe something underneath to lift your pelvis a little higher than the knees. Please bring in those props to bring the earth element to you. So let's ground down through our base, feel our sit bones, lengthen through the crown and feel this beautiful, gentle lift in the heart, in the chest. Let the arms just slide to the sides of the rib cage, neutral, heavy. Feel yourself lift through the hands towards your heart. And let's just say an Om together here. We can do 3. The sound vibration can journey from the root base up to the crown of the head, or any prayer you find harmonizing. Welcome at this time. Namaste. Thank you so much for harmonizing. So let's start on our backs. We'll just get right into those legs and the spine. And if you have a block or blanket, you may want it nearby. If you don't have it, no worries. You cannot use it too. So we'll lower ourselves, hugging our front body to back body all the way down. Let the knees go wide and just take them side to side. Let the arms take up some space. And begin to feel from the feet, the ankles, to the knees, to the femur, where the leg bone meets the pelvis. And just observe how they're feeling today. Notice that the spine is nicely grounded. We want to root down and collect all this foundation through the spine, through the lower body, so we can build up from that. And we'll begin to come together. Give yourself a big knee hug in. Big exhale. Let it go. Hug the left knee in, extend the right. We've been doing this a lot for the low back, for the spine. Big exhale as you hug left knee in. And then you can take left knee across to the right side, twist. You can make it audible on the exhale. Or just observing a breath in your own sound, in your own time. This is a space to practice using the breath and the body and posture just to observe inward sensation. Inhale back through center, big both knee hug in, positive affirmation. Thank you, body. I am grateful. I love you. I am strong. Right knee in, left knee extends. Another big exhale. Just let it go. And then we'll take that right knee across towards the left side, opposite side twist, maybe an audible breath. And we'll inhale back through center. Take the legs up, the feet up. Maybe you can reach the feet. This is called happy baby pose, or maybe it's just you reaching towards the feet, however this feels. For those who have props, you may want straps or so to grab the feet. And again, space in the low back. And transition those legs right to over the hips. You can also do legs up the wall, which we've done that a ton together. If you've practiced with me before, you bring your sit bones up to a vertical surface and you'll bring your windmill or kind of swing your legs up, and then you have legs up the wall or L pose. You can also do it here without the wall, supporting the sacrum with a prop or a block, or without a prop. I just want you to know all the tools and all the options. If you have any low back sensations, I recommend just going in with the support. So make sure that your shoulder blades are planted nicely, just as flat as they can be. And you'll see I go in and manually plant them because they're usually hiked up from anxiety and thinking. I tend to, as a lot of us, just contract that shoulder girdle up to the ears. So intention of letting go there. And then the neck is just rounded nicely, no weight, and the back of the head just supporting itself. Maybe take a breath with your hands on your low belly and heart. Feel yourself expanding and settling. We'll remove and move some of the, we actually won't remove, we'll move it so that the body can remove it. The lymph, the blood, some of the fluids in the body from the toes and ankle up to the hip. So inhales to point, exhales towards you. And like I said remove, but we're actually just moving it so that the bodily systems and processes can help eliminate and remove it from our body. And then you'll inhale the toes out, exhale the toes in. Eversion and inversion. Trying to just move from the ankles. And then you'll make circles with the toes one way and then exhale back towards you. Remember, any sensations that don't feel right, that don't feel like you can take a big breath through it, go ahead and reset. You can lower down, especially if it's the low back. And then circles the other direction if you haven't already. Inhales and exhales with the ankles and the toes. And then we'll get to the knees, knee pumps. The feet go towards the glutes. Feel your expression of this pose. We're draining the fluids that we have moved along from the toes and the ankle and the knees now. And I've been working on my legs not cracking. And I'll tell you, after about 3 weeks of being gentler doing this, I'm getting less cracking. I don't know, maybe you used to be able to hear it. Now it's not doing it. So taking your time and isolating joint capsules and being gentle with them, strengthening, can really go far. And then we'll do our waves out, V out with the inner legs, close in. Feel the fluidity. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm shouting. Sometimes for these recordings, I feel like I have to really talk loud. Beautiful. Come back to center. Big knee hug all the way in. Take your legs down, remove the prop if there is any. And if your legs are up the wall, you can stay there. What we'll do is make a figure 4. Start with the side that has the least amount of sensation. The leg bends, and then we'll bring that the opposite leg in towards your heart. So the bent leg, maybe the leg with more sensation as you straighten the other leg, or it can stay down on the earth. And this might be a big enough opening for the outer hip already. So there's many variations here, and I'd like for you to take a few deep breaths into the outer hip of the bent leg. And you're welcome to stay here for a breath rhythm, or if it feels good to offer in a twist, go ahead and let those legs go to the opposite of the bent leg side. So if it was your left leg bent to the right, vice versa. Inhale, you'll unwind out of it, and wherever you come from the hip opener, switch sides. So you can always play or sway with the legs for a moment, and then you'll get to the opposite hip being open. And it may just stay on the ground opening here, or you lift the other leg towards your heart. If you're against a wall, this is a great pose to also do for the hip. You have that support of the surface for the extended leg, and you're able to just melt with gravity. And if you'd like to do that twist, go ahead and take those legs to the opposite side of the bent leg hip. You don't have to do this if it doesn't feel right. Take one more breath rhythm. Before coming back to center and plant those feet. So now we're going to engage the lower body as one unit. And remember, the shoulders, neck, and head just nicely planted. You'll press down through the feet that are in line with the hips. Tone the legs in towards one another without moving them out of alignment. And then engage your pelvic floor, the area between the sit bones and inner thighs. Arms alongside of you or down towards the earth. You'll inhale, come upwards with the glutes. Exhales, lower. So we've done this with the breath before too. Inhale to lift, using your whole lower body and core. Exhales to lower, using the whole lower body and core. So we're warming up all of these lovely engagements. And we'll build upwards from this in a few moments here. Think of your pelvic floor rising to meet your heart and the navel drawing back to meet the spine and then collect at the heart and your chin towards your heart. Inhale, if you're still with me here, extra slow lowering. Feel the low heart, the low ribs, the low back, and the sacrum melt. Inhale, lift, whole lower body and core is lifting you. and then feel the back body slowly meet the earth. Any times of pausing, use this as a time to breathe deep and reflect within. Last one here, lower all the way down. Awesome. Go ahead and take your legs long. Take your arms snow angel back behind you. So you're just taking up some space here. And hey, if it feels good, go ahead and do a snow angel. It's kind of fun just to like, I'm going to take up space. But we have an intention of lengthening the side body. So we really engaged lower body like we like to do from our roots and foundation. And now walk those feet to the left. Bananasana. Cross the right foot up and over the left. And then have the elbows meet the hands. And you'll walk the shoulders and head over left. And you may feel the supported opening through the whole right side of your body. Take a big breath, expanding the ribs and the lungs. Feel the expansion. Let go, release on the exhale. Come back through center, maybe take a whole body lengthening, and we'll try the other side. You could just walk yourself over the other way. Legs are walking right, left leg up and over the right, elbows to hands, and you walk over right. Feel yourself stretch and breathe into the whole left channel. From the outer left foot, up the left leg, from the left hip, the left ribs, left shoulder, left neck, left head. Back to center. Take a big lengthening stretch. Maybe let out a noise like kind of just opening the fascia, the connective tissue. And then we're going to come up to seated. I suggest maybe a rock and roll if it feels good, or you can come to the side and press yourself up, nice and mindful. Maybe some support for the hips if you want that. And let's get into the low back and then the neck before coming up to rise. So let's extend the legs out for a moment, hands back behind us for support, wide windshield wipers, side to side. Try to keep collecting all of those engagements and warming sensations we've cultivated from the lower body and the core. Take the legs out in front of you. And for those who have props, you may want to support under the knees. You don't need to. You can also just have them straight out. Let's take the right leg into the body. And it can stay here, or for some, it may want to journey up and over the other leg if that's accessible. And then for some, it may even want to bend the left leg back towards your opposite hip. So many ways this can look and feel. It's going to be a twist no matter what. So you'll get in the twist. And I'm just kind of showing the different variations for another moment. Get yourself settled. And we'll twist first to the right from your low belly to your heart. So the left hand can take the right knee. Right hand guides the spine to lengthen back behind you. Low belly to heart, right. Try to keep your gaze in line with your heart. Inhale, expand the ribs, come back through center, do a gentle counter the other way. Open up your low belly to heart left, seeing both sides of the leaf. Back through center, let the legs out. Maybe you windshield wiper them if that feels good. Support with the arms back behind you. And when you're ready, we'll get into that on the other side. So this is for the legs and the low back. We'll extend the legs. You can remember to support any props that you may need. Left knee in, pose 1, pose 2, left foot over, pose 3, right foot towards the opposite hip. Right arm hugs left leg in, left arm back behind you. Low belly to heart, twisting to the left. Big inhale, even bigger exhale. Try to keep the eyes in line with the heart. Come back through center, try to counter pose the other way, open low belly to heart right, and back through center. So go ahead and extend those limbs, get them out, get them shaking. If that feels good, you can just pop the knees or the wide windshield wipers side to side. And we'll come to a cross-legged position. I'm putting in my yoga toes. They really help me relax. So we'll come to just a gentle cross-legged. Maybe you support the sit bones like we've talked about. And we'll begin to get from the core upwards to the neck. So coming to our seated posture, begin to feel the area between the ribs and the hips. And real subtly, this is maybe something that you can't even like see if you were to look at yourself, but you, or me, for instance, but you feel it within your own practice. You're lifting from the hips up, and you'll feel the side body tone and lift you. Let the arm bones just hang out to the side. Maybe you take right arm back behind you, clamp with the left arm, and you can also sit on it if that's an option as well. Begin to pull the head left, so we're lengthening through the right channel. Now drop in. Here's going to be some options. We'll do something a little different today. So you are hopefully feeling sensation somewhere, and you're pausing before it's too intense. Now you're either feeling sensation perhaps on this lengthening side or on this side. Check in. Choose one, and you can stay where you are, just breathing and opening. If you'd like to offer in another method, the free other hand, if you have the other hand stabilized at the low back or sit bone, can then begin to 10% of energy press into the head as the head presses back into the hand on the shortened side or on the lengthening side. So you choose which way felt a little bit tighter in this position and push the head into the hand that direction as the hand pushes back about 8 seconds, and then you let it go. And it's not all of your energy, just a little bit enough to warm the muscles, and then melt is the intention, so that you're offering in own engagements to let it release. So I'll show on this side, pressing in about 10% of energy, 8 to 10 seconds. Now my head's pressing down, opposite way I was just doing, and then I'll begin to soften and release. And you may notice a more lengthening occurring, more opening. Feel free to move with rotations of the nose tip and take one more breath rhythm wherever you are. Remember, this is all about finding your own sensation, so pause anywhere. We're going to go in to the other side just for the purposes of moving along, but you can stay. Begin to come back to neutral. Let's let the arms reset, palms out to the side. From your sit bones, inhale all the way up, reach up. Visualize the sun down to center. And then we'll take the opposite arm back. Left arm, clamp it. Maybe you take it underneath your sit bone or just kind of have it stabilized to the low back. Pull the head towards the opposite side of the arm. And you're beginning to observe, is it tight in the front, in the back, on the left, on the right? And if it's neither, maybe you just slide a little bit deeper into the extension. Pause, and you'll check in if you want to do the contract relax, offering just a little bit of force from the head and hand towards one another on the shortened neck side or on the lengthened neck side. So I'll show this side first, pressing in about 8 seconds. My head is pressing into my hand as the hand presses into the head, and then you start to soften. Let it go. See if you get a deeper opening. You can move with the nose tip, rotations of the neck. And maybe I'll just show for this side. Now I'm pressing the shortened neck side into my hand, about 10-20% of energy. About 8 to 10 seconds. Remember the breath, and then you'll let it go. And you may notice a lengthening on either side. Maybe you make rotations and guide yourself back to center when you're ready. Take the arms back behind you. If it's comfortable to switch the legs for a moment, go ahead and do so, or you don't have to do that. That's just something you could do. Hands back behind you. Notice a lift through the front body from the low belly where the core and the foundation begin to pull up through the abdomen and the heart. Maybe you open throat. And then take a gentle bow forward, walk the hands, exhale. Just to your limit. It may be all the way, it may just be a very little bit. We'll begin to come back through center. Take the arms out to a T, the fingertips curl back towards you. Maybe the elbows curl back towards the hips. And you'll look towards the left, feel a nice opening and warming through the right as the fingers curl back. You can keep rotating the arm backwards, opposite that you're looking, and it just helps with resetting some of those muscles. Back through center when you're ready with the gaze, and look towards the opposite right. Press out energetically through that left palm. Maybe those rotations backwards with the left arm. Inhale. Exhale. This is real subtle work that we're doing. I want us to, one thing, take our arms back behind us. Just lines with the nose tip. Up, inhale. Exhale, down. And just feel yourself moving along the cervical column. Really gently between each joint. Kind, gentle movements. Awesome. So let's do one more thing before standing, because we will get into some standing postures together. Undo your legs, give them a stretch, a shake, a wiggle, whatever feels right. and send them back behind you. You're going to come onto your belly. I want to face you. So I'm going to send them back behind me and onto my belly. So you can start by just windshielding the legs, maybe back to forth, just to kind of reset the pelvis. And then take your hands down, the forehead down, support. So we don't do this that often, but we do it in other positions. We don't do it on our belly that often. This is for the core so that we can really cultivate that strength before we come up to standing soon, when it's all on our feet and all on our lower body. It's dependent on what did we engage so far, right? So we really want to focus on still cultivating that core and bring attention to the sit bones, the pelvic floor. The head can be down. Inhales, curls the low back up and lifts the low belly. I'm gently showing. Exhales, glutes engage, flatten the low back, press your low belly down, and you feel it on the earth. So inhales, I'm being a little dramatic so you can see it. Lift. Exhales, lower. This is the start to your core, the lower body. And it's kind of weird. We've never done it on this side, this position, but I find it really helpful to feel what you're doing. All right, so that's the pelvic floor. Do that a few more times. And then engage in the exhale with the low back flat, the glutes engaged. And now we're going to feel our abdomen, the navel, tuck towards the spine, which is technically lifting up now and due to our positioning. And then it's going to fly up towards the heart. This is real subtle, but I'm going there with you guys because this is our last class together like this. So I invite you to feel that pelvic floor, the navel tucking up towards the spine and then towards the heart, and their chin towards the heart. Extend the arms back towards your ankles, fingers point back. Inhale, we're going to lift our lower body as one mermaid tail, our head and chest with the bandhas in the lower body. So inhale, here we are flying up, real empowering, lifting off the hip points that are on the earth, maybe the thighs there on the earth, the low ribs, and then let it all go. Exhale. You can make a pillow for the forehead or cactus the arms, head to the side. Let's do that again. Take your forehead back in its lock alignment position. Arms alongside of you. Inhale, lift your legs and arms. The hip points are on the earth and you're empowered by lifting your own strong body from the earth, from the feet to the legs, to the upper ribs, chest and head and arm. And then let it all go. Maybe you cactus and shift side to side with the legs. We'll do one more. Cactus the arms this time instead of them alongside of you. And same thing. Inhale, lift the cactus arms, the shoulder, the legs, the upper ribs, the head. Inhale, feel empowered, feel strong as you lift yourself up. Exhale, let it all go. Head to the side or forehead pillow, and then shift those legs side to side. We're going to come up through a tabletop. So hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes, really feel this transition. Watch the joint. Engage from the pelvic floor, navel, and throat to come on up. Perfect. Remember those sacral tilts we were just doing with our low belly on the earth? Find them here. You inhale, curve. Exhale, lower. So you're cultivating the warmth of the pelvic floor with the navel. And then we'll come through a squat if you're working on that with me. I'm going to show facing you. Maybe you come to a squat of any style to try to come up to rise. Use these lower limbs and the pelvic floor. If you have a block, you're welcome to get that, or a blanket. From the outer ridge of your feet, ground down, lift through the arches of your feet. Take that lift through the kneecaps, through the pelvic joints. Let the thumb spiral back and feel your heart gently lift. The skin on the chest gently spreading. Palms out, inhale, visualize the sun as you stretch and lengthen up. Exhale down through center. Any of your own intentions, go ahead and say them, feel them out loud or in the mind's eye. Inhale, reach for the guiding intentions and then guide them down to you. Inhale to extend and down through center. Take the arms out to a T. And if this is hurting the neck or shoulders, notice how can you balance through the pelvis more with some more grounding maybe before even moving the shoulders. If this is okay, maybe you take the arms out to the T and same thing we did seated, look to the left, feel a nice stretch to the opposite side. Come through center and you can look through the opposite right. Feel a nice stretch through the opposite side there. Take the arms cactus. Feel the shoulder blades come together and then lift the heart. Press the hips forward. Take a big inhale, open up through the front body. Take a big exhale, stay where you are. One more. Inhale, open the lungs, the chest, expand. Big fold. Arms up, follow a line from the waist, from the tailbone, bend all the way, bend the knees as you forward fold down. The low belly touching the thighs. Let yourself billow and unfold from the waist to the crown. Inhale, hands to hips, collect through the core, reach out through the head all the way up. Cactus the arms. Either stay here working on form, or maybe you try some Bhastrika, bellows breath, our forceful breaths. Keep the lower body rooted. We'll twist inhales and exhales between the pelvic and shoulder girdles. Slowly oscillate back center. Let the arms hang out down. Maybe you just let them hang out coat hanger and let them slide side to side, releasing. We'll try the other way with the arms here. So you'll cactus. We'll actually inhale right, exhale left. If that feels good, otherwise just remain working on a nice cactus heart lift. And slowly follow your own observations and breath back to center. Let the arms hang out. Maybe they coat hangers, slide or flap, just releasing some of that tension. Awesome. Let the block go. We won't need that for now. Come to the top of your space. Take your right leg back. Excuse me. And I'm going to show knee down. but you can do knee up if you're working on that. You'll want your front knee over the ankle, and depending on your openness in the quadriceps, you may want the back knee under the hip. Feel yourself pull in through the knees from the feet engaged. And if there's knee issues, you can curl the back toes or have them flat. Pull up through the lower body, through the navel and the heart. Maybe full expression with the arms up towards the sky. Feel your pelvic bowl with your rib cage over it, with your head over the rib. And we'll do a nice twist here for the low back. So you can take a prop, maybe a block, to bring the earth to you, or maybe you reach for the right hand to be supported. The left hand comes to either the hip or the outer left knee, and you'll begin to twist from the low belly to the heart left. Keep your gaze and head in line with the heart. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back through center. Find a full expression if it feels okay. Maybe even a cactus. It helps lift the chest, spread the lungs and the ribs. So we're going to come to a fold. You're going to bring your feet together. Try to use the legs, not let the arms take over. Nice big forward fold with the legs bent, the low belly to the thighs. Inhale, weight to the heels, come up like through a chair pose, all the way up. Use your core, use the legs, all the way up. Lift the heart and center. Let's try the other side. So now we'll take the right leg back. Oop, I think I just did that wrong. Left leg back. Apologies. Your left leg is back if you're doing it with me, or just make sure you're doing opposites. Maybe the knees are in line with the joints above and below. And we'll go into the pelvic floor, the navel, and then maybe full expression. Feel your pelvic bowl, ribs, and head in one line. Pull through the leg center and then bring that energy up the center column. We'll try the twist with the block maybe for the left hand. And then low belly to heart, twisting towards the right. Remember, with all of our practice together, you want this to feel good. So bring that foundation in first, and then we'll have a platform to twist and expand off from. Let the gaze and head follow the heart. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, you'll begin to come back center. Try a full expression. Hug those legs in for strength. Up through center line. Maybe you do a cactus arm. Feel the heart lifting, compassion, forgiveness, loving kindness, and radiate that out through all the fingertips. Let the fingertips go, not take over. Try to have the legs mainly and the core bring you to a fold. Keep the legs bent. Excuse me for my shirt, but I just wanted to show you from all angles there. Feel the low belly to the legs so that you can let go of the waist. Weight to the heels. Maybe you lift the toes, chair pose. So hands to the hips. You'll feel yourself using this diagonal line of energy with the weight in the heels and the glutes come all the way up. Whoo! Release the arms all the way up and through center. Let's try our right leg out, warrior two. So this is wider than our lunge or warrior one. You'll root down through the outer ridge, front knee over ankle. And we look for the pelvic bowl, ribs, and skull as one. Hands to heart. Feel your inner prayer, your inner heart space, radiate that out. Look over the front fingertips for your guidance, for your concentration. Inhale here. Exhale here. Right hand to low back, right arm either to left arm either to the hip or extends back behind the ear. And you'll keep the legs the same, maybe open from the left hip to the left ribs. Maybe you make a line with the nose tip up or down. Inhale here, exhale here. Come back to your T-arms, take one breath here. Feel yourself aligned in center, strong. And then try to find a side angle. Right hand to hip, left hand maybe just to guide along the thigh. Feel this whole line of lengthening energy. Maybe right arm comes up and back behind the ear. Inhale and exhale. Back through center. Focus. Have the feet come in, star pose, take up the ultimate, feel the ultimate. Bend the knees, just in between sides. Have your wide squat pose here. Mirror the legs, take an inhale and exhale. And then we'll find our warrior two the other direction. So now right leg leads. Pelvic floor, ribs, come from the heart, radiate it out. Focus over the front fingertips. Inhale and exhale. Left arm to low back, either right arm to hip, and you'll begin to lengthen through the right side, or maybe the right arm goes back behind the ear. Maybe you make rotations following the nose tip. Coming back through center, tee out the arms. Inhale and exhale. Maybe the right arm to the thigh. Maybe left arm to hip. Always great to be near the hips to feel those engagements. Or bring it back behind the ear. And you're lengthening through the opposite side of the side body. The legs stay the same. Keep them nice and stable and strong. Lift your heart up energetically. And then you'll begin to come back through your center. Inhale and exhale. All right, here we go. We're setting up for the end. So you can lower down through a squat. You can toe heel the feet in. You can go to legs up the wall. You can be in a hammock. We've seen that. Wherever you'd like to end with your stillness, with your reflection and some meditation time. I'll ring a bell to bring us out just as a closing and an honoring of the ultimate. So blessed to be with you all in this way. So holding space for some silence for your own sensations, for your own prayers. Feel the wave of the breath inside the body and feel your inner fluidity. For the purposes of closing class, I'm going to begin to end, but please, if you have more time, stay here. A bell to honor the ultimate. So welcome to be anywhere you are on your journey. If you'd like to close out with a few breaths together and some prayer, you can end this wherever position you may be in. If you'd like to be seated or maybe hands to heart, take a few breaths, expanding in the chest and settling in the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining and journeying. Remember, if you want to reach out and keep me updated along your healing journey, I'd be so blessed to hear from you. Blessings always. Take care.